Hello, this is Claude White, and this is Extreme Sports and World Views. The song that you're hearing in the background, if you're my generation or older, you probably recognize it. That is the Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo. And the star of that particular show was a man named, ironically, Claude Akins. And who am I referring to today as Sheriff Lobo, who was an inept sheriff? And trust me, this guy is much more inept than Sheriff Lobo ever was. Who is he? He is the very first recipient of an awards that I choose to call the CHNAs. What are they? Well, you take the first, take the letters off of those names, the first letters off of those, and what do you come up with? CHNA. They are called the Coon House Nigga Award. And I'm pretty sure you figured out who our first recipient is. He is who I disaffectionately refer to as Sheriff Lobo. He is Sheriff David Clarke of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Why is he the very first recipient of the Coon House Nigger Awards, or the CHNAs as I like to refer them? Well, let's just start with the short list, shall we? First off, he denies that cops are more willing to shoot black suspects than whites. We already know that's way false. I mean, that's just a proven entity. He describes Black Lives Matter as a hate group. And I guess the Ku Klux Klan are a nice, robust, great gang of people who are just saying kumbaya throughout the black community and other communities as well. But remember, the Black Lives Matter, and if you've been to any of their rallies or any of their marches, half of Black Lives Matter marchers are white. And trust me, I've been to enough of them to know. Okay? So this is not just me talking out of the side of my face. I've actually been on the lines of that. I've actually been in marches, Black Lives Matter marches for Eric Garner, for Sean Bell, for the, I cannot think of the young man's name, Ramarley Graham, and the Graham family, of course. And our hearts go out to the vicious slaughters of those individuals at the hands of the corrupt police departments around the United States of America. And our hearts go out as well to the innocent cops that were killed and slaughtered by rogue elements. And I won't even say they're rogue elements of those groups, but those are rogue elements of people disguised as members of Black Lives Matter or other people of that ilk. Listen, violence begets violence. And I'm not going to turn around and give those guys a pass. But we have to also realize, I mean, if you're going by the simple laws of physics, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And that's what's happening throughout Baton Rouge and other places within the United States of America. But going back to this real house Negro, this disgrace of a human being, Sheriff Clarke, he has also criticized the ex-attorney general, Eric Holder, by calling him an asshole. Are you kidding me right now? Who's a bigger asshole than you fucking buffoon? He has called, Al Sharpton, he is called a charlatan. Now, whether you want to criticize Reverend Al Sharpton or not, and I'm not always his biggest fan, but we have to be fair on the matter that wherever there is some type of racial injustice, Reverend Al Sharpton has been there, even dealing with the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. And he was the only one that went to Vieques and brought out the fact that the Puerto Rican community was struggling with the bases and the things of that ilk that was going on in Vieques in Puerto Rico. And they finally shut that down after eons of protests, mainly due to the efforts of one Reverend Al Sharpton. And again, I'm not always his biggest fan, but you have to give credit where it's due. And also, he had the nerve, along with, we know, the black people's quote-unquote friend, Rudolph Giuliani. Oh, God. Yeah. What is his expiration date, for God's sake? But, I'm not supposed to wish death on anybody, but as far as I'm concerned, like Ronald Reagan, when he passed, he died 25 years plus too late for black people. And listen, Giuliani croaks, I'm having a cookout. I'm sorry to say it. I can't stand that fucking asshole. But he had the nerve to criticize Beyonce's halftime performance, which, listen, all she did was give a tribute to Michael Jackson and the fallen victims of police brutality. So anytime that you speak out against police brutality, you're an enemy of the state all of a sudden. Like these guys do nothing wrong. But you've got to be kidding me. And he also had the nerve to let you know how inept that he is. He had the nerve back in 2013 to tell the citizens of Milwaukee that they should no longer rely on the police and they should arm themselves, and they can no longer rely on the police for timely protection. I mean, if you're the sheriff of the Milwaukee Police Department and you're telling the people to strap up, I mean, what the hell use are you for? My God, you're an absolute disgrace. And to top it off, if you've seen CNN over the last 2 or 3 days, the quote-unquote debate that he had with Don Lemon, which was an absolute disgrace. I mean, a man of law enforcement should not be carrying himself in such despicable conduct. I mean, let's face it, he is an obvious choice. And yes, you, Sheriff David Clarke, a.k.a. Sheriff Lobo, you are the very first recipient of the CHNA, the Coon House Nigga Award. Yeah, for that, you get a foot up your ass, a couple of chicken wings, and a bottle of prune juice, you bitch-ass fake motherfucker. Please die slow. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. This is Claude's Sports Corner. The outshoot of that, this is called Extreme Sports and Worldviews. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day, unless you're Sheriff David Clarke.